Okay, so let's talk about your blog page. Yes, having blogging is very important for your website and your business because it shows it shows to Google and to your readers that your site is fresh and has interesting content. Not every business has the need to blog, but if you do, this is a tutorial on how to set up that piece. So I went in and I added some demo posts. So your posts are going to go in here. All right, and so these are my three, and I'm just going to open one so you can see what it looks like. You can add a new one here. You put the title here, and you put an image here, and you type right down here. You can add images by putting your cursor where you want it. I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to put a big image right here, and I'm going to click Add Media. You can upload a picture from your computer or select one from your media library, which I'm going to do now. And I uploaded these all from Unsplash, like I talked about in another video. So I'm going to add this picture. Now if you scroll down before you hit Insert into Post, you can see that you can align it to the left or the center or the right if you're embedding it inside of the article and you want to put it off to the left or to the right, but I'm going to have it right on top, so I don't really need any alignment. It's not linking anywhere, and I'm going to make it large. That way it will fill up the space and shrink if needed. So I insert it in. Say you don't like that and you've changed your mind and you want to make it smaller and align it to the left, you can still do that. You click on it, you click Edit. You can make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to do medium, and I'm going to do left. So click Update, and now it's to the left of the text. You can even change the alignment while in the text as well. So I'm going to make it back to no alignment and large. Okay. Now, you really should put the main picture on the top like this and in the featured image. Now, when you get to a new blog post, it will look like this. It'll be blank. So you want to click Featured Image, select your image, and put Set. It will resize it accordingly. The reason is this will show up as a thumbnail when you are looking at the excerpts of your blogs, and I'll show you that in a minute. This is shown when you're viewing your blog. So I just want to show you a little bit of the back end here. You can start using categories for your blogs. This is the uncategorized is the default, but you can add new categories. So categories can be broad, like I'm talking about website improvements. So I'm going to do a website improvements add. Okay, so I'm going to unclick on categorized and click website improvements. If you really want to get down and into narrower topics, then you can use tags like this is analytics. And it just helps if you're growing a blog to keep things organized and keep things easier to find. So this blog post might be about website improvement, but it's about analytics. It's about testing. It's about site speed, right? So it's kind of all the mini topics inside the larger topics. And so say I had a very large blog full of hundreds of posts, and I have 10 articles on Google Analytics or analytics. Somebody will be able to click on the tag that says analytics, and those 10 would pop up. So if you really are expanding into a blog type of site, you do want to start now and thinking about how you want to organize it. All right, so I've done all that. Now here's another thing. You can write a whole bunch of posts and not publish them. You can save them as either pending review or draft, and that way they're in the back saved until you're ready to publish them. So then you would click OK and it would be saved as a draft. You click update and now it's off of the website and it's not published. I'm going to change it back to no, you can't change it back to publish. If you want to publish it, you click it here. Another very cool tool is right here, publish on. You edit that and you can backdate it or you can schedule it. So say you want this to go out at the end of the month. You can even state a specific time. Now the button turns into schedule and it will go out on May 31st. So if you're a big blogger and you just want to add a whole bunch of content, you can drip it out, which is kind of a nice thing. Let's change that back. All right. Now I published. Now say I want to change this uncategorized. You can find all the categories and tags here to update and change. All right, so you can't delete this one because it's the default. So I'm going to just change this to blog since the other blog posts are linked to that. All right, and you can change the tags if you'd like, add more tags so they're in there. It's up to you. Now let's look at what the blog posts look like. I'm going to view this one. I'm going to go to view. Now even though it says page builder on here, the default is you won't see page builder on blog posts. So if you have opened up your site and don't see that, it's because it's really only for the main pages. Because otherwise you would have to use page builder on every blog post to make it look consistent. So I would just leave the default as is. It looks pretty good the way it is, and this is what it looks like. So one thing to take note of is, you can't see it on my screen, but the URL has a date in it. Let me show you what I mean. You can edit the post right here. Here it is. Here's the permalink. See, it's got this long thing with the date. Say you don't want the date in there, and I suggest you taking that out, because the closer your title is to the beginning of the URL, the better it is for the search engines to understand what your blog post is about. So to change that, you go to Settings, Permalinks, and you click on Post Name. You see how it's on Date and Name? You click on Post Name, Save Changes. Let's go look at the blog post now. Now you can see that date is pulled out and it's got the title closer to the beginning. So that's a lot better. Now Page Builder does have, not Page Builder, but the theme does have a way to customize all this. So you see how it's got my name. Well, first of all, I'm not sure if I really want to be called AM Gill. So say that it pulls in your username, but you can change that. So you want to go to Users, Your Profile, scroll down, and you see how it says Display Name Publicly. If you want to be called something else, then you want to fill in the first name, last name, or change the nickname. And then you have the option of changing it here. So now that will change. My profile picture shows up because I have a Gravatar. Now, people don't really see that in the front end, but if I start commenting on my own site, then this picture shows up. So I do suggest that you go to Gravatar and make your own image. Then every time you use the email associated with the Gravatar to make a comment, your picture shows up. So it's another way to brand yourself or your business. So I'm going to update profile. Let's go to posts, view. Now it says Anne Marie. See that? Now say this is for the comments. So you scroll down and this is the comment area. It already knows it's me because I'm logged in, so that's how it looks. But for somebody else, it will have a name and leave a comment. And it's by default, it's set that you have to approve the comment at least once from a person before it publishes it. And then after that, it will publish their comment if you've approved it once. And to change those settings, you go to Settings, Discussion, and here's a whole bunch of settings that you can leave on or off. You see, like, anyone can post a comment is held for moderation. Oh, that's email me when. So you'll get emailed and it'll tell you what to do, how to approve a comment. So this is on default set to comment author must have a previous approved comment. That way you don't have to keep approving from somebody that you trust. But if you do want to approve every single comment, you will approve every single comment the first time, but thereafter you want to click this. So there, you can look over the comment discussion settings here, but what I want to show you is in the customize area how to hold on a second, let's get to a blog post here. How to change this. Say you don't want any of that, or you only want a couple of those options. So you want to go to Content, Blog Layout, and it shows you can change where the sidebar is. Maybe you want the sidebar on the left. Let's go to the right. Maybe you don't want any sidebar at all, and that's fine too. How big do you want the sidebar to be? Small? Medium? Let's do large. The sidebar only displays on desktop only. We'll leave that. Now here's where you can change that. Do you want the post author to be there? You don't have to, so you take it off. Do you want the comment count to be visible? You don't have to, so let's take it off. So there's some flexibility there. At one point you had to go into the code to edit that, but now with Page Builder you don't have to. So I've saved that. Now one more thing, if you go to blog, here is, it automatically shows a snippet of your blog post, which is nice, so they can scroll down and see like the first 3 or 4. In fact, let me show you where to change that. You can change that under Settings, Reading. Okay, so blog post to show on one page. You can change this to less or more. Right now I only have 3, so it's only showing 3. But once it shows 10, or if you have more than 10, there'll be a little, link to the next page on the bottom. So this is where you change that. So that is the default. Let me go back to here. Say you want to set up the blog page a little bit differently. Then you're going to want to go to Settings, Readings, and remove this post page blog. You want to kind of remove the connection that is a blog archive page, and I'll show you what I mean. So now when you go to blog, there shouldn't be anything there, you see? So you've unassociated that page for the blogs. So what you can do is is pull up Page Builder, because it will show up there thinking it's just a regular old page, and you go to Content Pages and you can show your blog posts in a very creative way. There's a couple of different options down here. You can show it as a gallery, you can show it as a grid. Let's look what the gallery looks like. Okay, so now it pulled up pictures, see? I think and also it pulled up, you can change this to whatever you want. Let's see what that looks like. I thought you could, oh yeah, so you can hover over and see the title. Isn't that cool? So it automatically does that. In fact, let's see if we can change a few of those settings in here. Usually it has some settings, post settings. So here you go, post per page. If do you want it scrolling, do you want a grid or a feed? You can show the date or not. Hover, transition, fade, or slide up or scale down. Let's do slide down. I wonder if it'll show that. Yeah, I have to. You'd have to play with it and publish it first. Let's see, content. It shows the post. It's ordered by date. You can choose what categories to show. So maybe you want a whole page full of one category and another page full of another category. Say it's all recipe posts and you want a page full of dinner options and another page full of breakfast options. So there's a lot that you can do here. So let's, I'm going to cancel out of here and I'm going to do a different template, and that would be where, oh, I'm on a home page, that's why. Let's go to Content Pages. Let's go to the grid. This seems to be a pretty popular way to show blog posts these days. And that's really good looking, isn't it? So you would have continued blog posts on here. You can show as many blog posts as you want. The pagination style means what shows up at the bottom when there's more than 9. Are they numbers, or are they do you just keep scrolling and you see more? Equal heights, you can do yes, and it'll equal out the heights. You see that? That's really neat. You can change the spacing in between. You can make it wider or smaller. Do you want to show the featured image or not, and how large is it going to be? You don't have to show the author. There's so much you can do with this. You can even change how it looks right in here. So maybe it's a full length feed. So those are the 3 different styles that they have. So I'm just going to leave it like this because I really like this style. So website improvement blog tips on how to improve your website. Okay, so I'm done with that, and I really have, besides the actual text content, I really do have most of my pages complete, at least the styling of them, and all I have to go in here is change some of the content, and I have a nice, beautiful looking website. In the next step, I'm going to show you some additional bonus features and plugins for your site that I feel like every website needs to have. It's kind of a little bit extra that I'm adding into this, but I hope you enjoyed using Beaver Page Builder to create your beautiful new website.